So, welcome to the Unshakable Foundation meeting of Cocaine Anonymous. This is a main share meeting, and today is with great pleasure and much gratitude that we welcome Devaldis from Chicago, who will be sharing for up to 40 minutes on the topic, Take My Hands Off My Life. Following the share, we'll have the Q&A portion of the meeting. So, Devaldis, it's over to you, please.
Hey, y'all, Devaldis, I call it. Grateful to be here, grateful to be sober. Thank you, Young, for always reaching out, and thank you for all the things that you do, all the service that you do. You inspire me. And don't y'all love when y'all nervous? I love when I'm nervous, right? Like when I'm nervous, I know for sure that I need to acknowledge the presence of God, right? When I'm nervous, because I'm in the self. So let me get a quiet time so I can turn my GPS on God and He can lead in God. God, I thank you for everything you've given me. I thank you for everything you've taken from me. And I thank you for everything you've left me. That will not must be done. Once again, my name is Devaldis and I'm an alcoholic. And I'm grateful, y'all. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for sobriety. And I'm grateful for this big ass headache that I got right now. That's a lot. That is bothering me, right? But I got a God-given sobriety date of November 28, 2018. That was the day I started practicing taking my hand off my life. Notice I said practicing because I don't do that thing perfectly, right? I find this is a process of I declare war, right? And why are you declaring war? I thought it was cease fighting anything and anybody, right? I declare war with me. Letting go of old ideas is not easy for a person like me. Letting removing or allowing God to remove the self-will and everything it's not an easy job for me because I've been living this way for a long time, right? I've been living this way for a long time. Let me do some cleaning up, man. I have a sponsor. His name is Ralph White. He has a sponsor. His name is Bob Dance, and I take men through the book when they allow me. I attend meetings with both of them, right? I got a home group, Drunk Squad, Look at God, Big Book Study. We meet up every Monday, 6 p.m. CST time. And I got a tribe of members. I got a lot of people that got my back, that got their best interests at heart for me. And I got some gossipers. So I thank God for both of them, right? They both make me do better. They both make me, you know what I'm saying? But, this is sad about y'all. Gossipers. And I'm going to say this with conviction. Stop looking at me and start looking at you. Because if I'm looking at you, I can't see me, right? I can't see how I show up, right? So I need to replace looking at you with a damn mirror, right? And if you come at me with some gossip, I'm gonna push it away. I'm gonna not answer your call. I don't want to hear it because I got this type of mind that wants my ego is looking for something to feed my narrative, to make something true in my head, and then I act out on it. So if you're a gossiper, stay away from me. I need to say that. You know what I'm saying? So my story in a general way, man, that was just a little sidebar. I need to get that out the way, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for every one of you guys, right? I'm grateful for everybody because it's people that I want to be like and it's people that I don't want to be like. Y'all both teach me something, right? I want something somebody got and I don't. Damn, I don't want that, right? Like I don't want that. And it took me a long time for me to come up in here. I'm an inner outer. I'm a figure outer. I'm gonna try to beat the game by myself. I get back in the ring, and somebody told me get out the ring. The fight is fixed, right? I couldn't hear that at the time, right? Like I'm in over 10 treatment facilities, recovery homes, psych wards. I've been in and out, y'all. And every time I took my will back, or every time I had my hands on my life, I molested myself, y'all. Nobody wants to be molested, right? And every time I got my hands on my life, I'm molesting myself. So when I take my hands off my life, I get a peace and I get a serenity. I get this understanding, this love, these things that was already in me, and I didn't know that was in me. Right, I didn't know they was in me. I hated myself. I suffer from low self-esteem. Still, I can to this day. I don't think I'm good enough. I'm unworthy. I'm unlovable. And I still got some of these traits today, and I can act out on them. Right. I thought God. Y'all told me God don't make no junk, but I thought I broke the mold. Right, I thought I was a junk. I thought I was a piece of crap. I thought it was all this stuff, man. All these narratives, all these core beliefs that I have deep down within myself. Right. So I'm a chaser, right? Like I'm a. Every time I take one, man, my something activates in me, right? Something activates in me, and it tells me go for the gusto. Right, I be sober, and I go back out there, and because I didn't have a sufficient substitute, I didn't have nothing to combat this alcoholism that I suffer from. I ain't have nothing I didn't have nothing that looked it better, that was attractive to me, right? Because alcohol was everything to me. Alcohol and drugs and the pipe and you know, I like talking current, right? I like talking current. I like talking about my life right now and what I'm doing, and you know what I'm saying. Everybody know once I put that horn in my mouth, I'm chasing the missile, right? I'm chasing that missile, and I want that fire behind that missile, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody up in here know about that, but I come up in here and I become a God-seeking missile, right? I've been seeking God, y'all. And it's been rough, and it's been trying, and it's been ups and downs, and it's been some low spots and some valleys, and I had a talk with my sponsor the other day, and I was thinking, right, I don't want to take no commitments, and I'm gonna talk a lot about my sponsor. Let me see if he's on here. He might be on here, but I talk a lot about my sponsor, right, like because he speaks louder than my thinking. Ralph, if you on here, thank you, Ralph. Thank you, sir. So, and I was talking I was telling him that I don't want to take no commitments, and I'm done with commitments because I got to take care of self and I got to take care of me, and you know what I'm saying. Even though I know it's an inside job, like look, check this out, y'all. Two things can be true at the same time. It's an inside job and it's also an outside job, right? I don't know if y'all get the gist of that, man. I got to take care of my outsides too, because my outsides create something. But the first thing I got to do is I got to get down to some causes and conditions. I got to get armed with the facts about myself. I got to do this work, right? So I go. I get man. I do a lot of. I go get massages. I go to chiropractor. I get my hair cut. I get my nails done. I get my feet done. I do stuff like that, y'all, because you know what I'm saying. It helps the inside, right? It builds me up. So I got to take care of my inside and my outside. That's just my stuff right now, man. I'm growing through some stuff, right? I'm going through some things that I never wanted to break ground on. Some darkness that I never wanted to address, right? And it's hard, and it's trying, and it's challenging, and I felt like I didn't want to say yes to carrying the message, right? And I took it upon myself. Self in a way. Hey, self in a way, y'all. I took it upon myself to start. A couple of people asked me. I said, "Nah, I'm not doing that right now." And woo woo, you know what I'm saying? But I never ran that by somebody with some some experience. It was just me and me. And I got to get rid of me, right? Now, I find this out, I got to get rid of me. And when I took my hands off of it, when I took my hands off my life, I called my sponsor, and he said, you ain't got that horn in your mouth, right? Right. You ain't loaded right now, right? Like, I mean, he said, keep taking the medicine. And that's been resonating with me, right? Because we come up in here and I come up in here and I take the medicine once and I think I'm better. Right? I come up in here and I think I ain't got to take the medicine no more. And I got to do this for life. So how am I going to stop taking the medicine? And the medicine for me is carrying the damn message, helping somebody or trying to help somebody else. And I don't want to because I'm feeling all these feelings. So I've been practicing some different things right now, y'all. I've been doing a lot of praying and meditation. I'm talking about I'm at a place where I think I see God the most when I'm in the most pain, right? When I'm hurting the most, when I'm feeling the most, I see God. I become a God-seeking missile when I'm in it, right? Yeah. And I think that's when God shows up the most. When I'm down, when I'm all the way down to nothing, I know when I see God, God is up to something. I'm just so grateful for effective sponsorship. I'm so grateful for y'all ain't understand this life we've been getting granted. Like a new life, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. And you know what I'm saying? Some things just don't go away. I think if I work the steps, I'm perfect. Right? Everything going to be great. Not a cloud on the horizon. It don't work like, for this alcoholic, based on my experience, it don't work like that. It hasn't worked like that, but I ain't got loaded. I ain't doing stuff that I used to do as bad, as often, as severe as I used to. It gives me some type of foundation for living, right? But for me, for this alcoholic addict, this crackhead, I need more because something in me is activated and it won't go away, right? And I'm saying this because I just started therapy. And with this therapy, I'm finding out that I got trauma bonding. I'm finding out that I got some things that I didn't even think was trauma in my life, but it was trauma, right? You know what I'm saying? Finding out some things that I just blew off, right? Going to prison, seeing men get they manhood taken away, right? That's trauma. I'm seeing, I'm witnessing, I'm seeing people get shanked in a joint, right? Like, and that's trauma. Let me go back. Coming up in the 2-parent home, right? Like, you know, my dad was, I don't get mad, I get even. Men don't cry, crying is for pussies. Whoop my ass. That's trauma. And I'm thinking it's normal, right? Getting my ass so off is normal to me, right? And him saying, I'm doing this because I love you, normalized it even more, right? My mom whooped me with the extension cord. My dad, 50 lashes, get on your knees. And you know what I'm saying? I got broke off, y'all. That's trauma. And I never addressed these things. And I never wanted these things to come up. I want to stuff all this stuff, and I'm sick and I'm dying, and I want to come to y'all and make it seem like, I want to make it seem like I'm okay, and I put this I'm fine hat on. I'm fearful. I'm insecure. I'm neurotic and emotional. But when I come around y'all, I get a solution. Y'all show me how to smile. Y'all show me how to laugh. I'm starting to like myself a little bit more, y'all. I want to get to a place where I'm faithful, I'm intuitive, I'm nurturing, and I'm effervescent. I'm fine. And I'm fine when I'm with y'all. I'm fine when I'm sharing the win, and I want to take away the place where I'm fine when I'm at peace. This is my jam, y'all. This is my get down. This is how I roll. I love doing this thing, right? And I don't think I'm good enough to do it. And then I get the oohs and I get the yeah, go boys, and I get all that stuff. And then when I turn y'all off, I'm by myself again. I'm by myself. So I don't know if anybody suffer from what I suffer from, man. You know what I'm saying? I come on a meeting and I get honest, y'all. I talk about everything and I drink about nothing. I got some stuff, I got some anger in me built up from my parents, right? Like, and I'm mad at the world and I lived that out. I woke up screaming, fuck the world. That's every day. Every single day. And that was because I had my hands on my life. I'm the epitome of the picture of contempt prior to investigation. I don't think this stuff gonna work for me. I don't think what y'all talking about is true. I don't think, like, you know what I'm saying? Take my hands off my life. The more I take my hands off my life, the more God can come in. The more I can receive the information that y'all giving to me, and I can apply it in my life. I can know that whole damn big book. I can know it. This ain't about knowledge. It's about application. Knowing the path and following the path is two different damn things. I start to follow this path and I start to get better and things start to open up and new different avenues start to happen, right? And I'm open to it. I'm open to getting better, y'all. I'm sick. I'm sick. But I got the willingness and I put the action behind it to get better. Ain't nobody up in here render writers know. I love what my sponsors say. We all in the emergency room with the ass out gowns on. Right? We all of us up in here. Ain't nobody better than anybody else. Ain't no big eyes, little U's. We all trying to get better. How do I get better? Follow the plan outlined in the book. Stick and stay. Get some Gorilla Glue. Trust the journey. Trust the process. Right? Make a beginning on all 12, right? This is what we do up in here. This is what Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me to do. Right? Current. Last week, I thought about taking a drink. I was so in fear, worried about what other people think about me, right? And the thought occurred to take a drink. I'm in a gas station and I'm seeing these people walking out with 6 packs of beers and the moisture on the beer was starting to look tasty to me, right? Like, I'm just being honest, y'all. Like, and I'm not anybody new. Just don't drink. Just don't drink. No matter what. And I pushed some stuff to the side, and I came back in my truck, and I'm pondering the thought, and I'm thinking about it, and I ain't calling nobody, y'all. I suggest you not do that. I'm sitting there thinking about it, and something came over me, right? So 2 days ago, I was driving my truck. And I hit something on the road and it bent my tire, right? So I'm stranded for 4 hours. I can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there, and that thought came back to me, and I thought about something when I came up in here. My last day drinking and using and smoking and chasing, and I thought about that. Driving on the expressway, 70 miles an hour, my tire and rim come off my car. I'm in it. I'm in it. And I ain't had no damn solution. All I knew was to take one more or to find a way to get one more. That was my whole life. I live a life in a 4-block radius, and I can only go so far. When that happened to my truck, What brought me out of that was that thought. And I'm doing this sober. The same thought, the same type of thing happened, but I'm doing it sober. I got a solution today, y'all. So I get on my knees and I pray. I get on my knees and I pray, and I ask God to relieve me of this alcoholism. I don't know what's going on with me, right? To relieve me of this. I take my hands off my damn life. A drink ain't gonna make it no better. A drink ain't gonna make it ain't gonna make make these feelings go away. Matter of fact, it's gonna get worser, right? It's gonna get worser. I made it through that, y'all. Sober. And I talked to my therapist, and I think I ain't supposed to think about taking a drink because I put myself so high. I'm doing all the things. I'm making I made a beginning, and I'm going through the work, and I'm writing inventory. I'm talking about for real, I do this for real, right? Helping others. I'm talking about all the things that I'm doing, showing up, cheering me. I ain't supposed to think about a drink. It humbled me. It really humbled me because I think the things I think that's the things is what keep me sober. The activities is not what keep me sober. Doing the activities brings me closer to my God who keeps me sober. Check that out, y'all. All the things that I'm doing, I'm getting closer to my Creator, right? I'm giving away what was so freely given to me by taking my hands off my life. I'm getting closer and walking hand in hand with my Creator. Why did thought come? I don't know. But my ego said, you a piece of shit. I go back into morbid reflection. You ain't supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be thinking about this. You doing all the things. But guess what, y'all? My therapist said, did you drink? And she taught me to celebrate your victories. It's just that simple. Anybody knew. You sober today, celebrate. If you sober today, you didn't take a damn drink today, celebrate your victories because this is one day at a time process. I can't get no bigger than today. I can't go I can't go forward and I can't go back. I'm right here, right now with y'all, doing what I'm supposed to do, doing what God created me to do in my assignment, auditioning for life on life terms. Because life gonna show up. Then I thought about my kids. If I would have took a drink, all bets are off, y'all. I remember it. Then I started reflecting and remembering when I was in the life. My mother used to call me and say my daughter, she was 6 months at the time. She would say, your daughter needs some food. She'll say, your daughter needs some Pampers. And I get $10, y'all. I get $10 and I couldn't feed my kid. I remember when my oldest daughter, she was 19, it was amazing. I used to let her down all the time, and I tell her I'm coming over there, you know what I'm saying? I get a couple of dollars, and I could not make it there. I did some reflection, y'all, and it brought me out. We don't regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. If I would have shut that door, I wouldn't have remembered what I used to be like without God. Restless, irritable, discontent, dishonest, right? I'm all these things. What happened? God, grace, mercy, honesty, surrender. All these things happen. That's what happened. What I'm like today with God. Perfectly imperfect. I'm a human being. Right? And that human being I can use that to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I show myself some grace when I mess up, when I fall down. Right? I get to put down the bat and pick up a feather and just say, I thank God for his forgiveness for my flaws and my failures. because I'm human. And check this out, y'all. I also, these are things I tell myself each and every day. I'm an unfinished product, and I'm the best version of myself right now, right here. But I'm getting better, right? This ain't a feel better process. This is a get better process, and I'm getting better through all these things, all these falls, all these failures, because I'm flawed, right? These the things that when I become willing, right? I ask God, now my creator, I am now. I am now normally comes with some pain. I am now ready for you to remove. I am now ready normally comes with some hurt. And then I am now ready for you to have all of me, good and bad, right? That's my jam, y'all. And what y'all think I was praying? God, I am now ready for you to have all of me, good and bad. What am I missing? Where you trying to take me? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it, God. Me and you, hand in hand. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm ready. When I become ready, when I become willing, the change has already happened, y'all. The change has already happened. I look, y'all, I suffer from hold on, let me overthink this. That's what I got. Let me overthink this. Let me put my hands in this thing and let me do what I think is best. Right? What I think is best damn near killed me. Right? So the steps. Through prayer and meditation, through helping others. I got a sponsee that's on fire, that he wants this thing, and I've been working with him. I hand in hand trudging with him, right? Like, and you know, when I do the things, it draws God to me, right? And it activates the superpower in me, right? Deep down in every man, woman, and child is a fundamental idea of God. It activates that fundamental idea, and I get closer and I get to digging. Look, it's a little sad about y'all. Everybody don't come in my life to take root. Some people come in my life to activate digging. I got to continue to dig. I got to continue to get down to the cause and conditions of what drives me, what ails me. You know what I'm saying? Full of fear, right? I'm full of fear. I could get full of fear. I'm coming up. I don't like to say it, but my sponsor don't give me no frust, y'all. I'm coming up on 7 years next month, y'all. Like one day at a time. Let me hurry up and say that. You know what I'm saying? Let me hurry up and say it. I'm coming up on 7 years, and I think I should be better or doing more or being. I'm right where I'm at. My sponsor, Ralph, always constantly reminds me, be where you at. Just be where you at, y'all. If you got one day sober, be where you at. And then when you at where you at, do what we do. Take your hands off your life, right? So I've been writing and I've been getting down to some stuff and you know I heard a outside issue. I heard a pastor say faith is not belief without proof, but trust without reservation. God gives me faith. I give God trust. How much am I trusting God? Right? I can come around here and talk about God. I got a relationship with God too. Right? I got a strong relationship with a power greater than myself, whom I choose to call God. But when things go awry and things go wrong and they go left field, how much trust do I really got? My actions show it. Be it when I can't sleep, when I'm up all night and I can't eat all day, right? I'm in angst, right? I'm in angst. If I put God first in my life, the rest of my life will be the best of my life when I take my hands off my life. That's how that works, y'all. That is how that works. So I'm in a grieving process. I'm going through some grieving skills, and I don't know how to grieve, y'all, and it's hard. This is the month I lost my dad last year, and then I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling all the good times that me and my dad had once I got sober. I'm talking about when my dad was the military dude, kicked my ass, and he never showed me love. He never hugged on me. I never got that side of him, right? When I got sober, when I made that amends, something happened transformational when I make that amends. When I start doing them, I get transformed. Transformers. More than BCI. I start becoming more than BCI, y'all. Something happens as a result of the amends, right? And it's I'm changing. They see the change. My dad start wanting me to hold his hand. My dad start wanting me to help out. My dad's the type that he don't ask for help. I'm just like his ass. Right? That's why it took me so long to come up in there with y'all. I don't ask for help, y'all. I don't want to ask for help. You see me fighting a bear in the woods. Don't help me help the bear. The bear tearing my ass off, right? And that's why it took me so long to come up in here to ask y'all for some help, because I'm from the street. I got it. I do this by myself. I got it. I run the block. And my dad started asking me for help. He started calling me up on the phone, right? He went from looking on the ground to me to calling me son. That's miraculous, y'all. That's some miraculous stuff. If you knew my dad, you would know. He called you son? Oh my God. Yeah, he called me son. I take him to the doctor, and I'm just reflecting, y'all, because I gotta look at the good times, and I can't think so much of the loss. I gotta think of all the gains that I got because of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the God of my understanding got me sober. I got to experience some new things with my family. That is priceless gifts. I used to take him to the doctor, and my dad had dementia, and they asked him, like, you know who that is? And he'll raise his chest up, right? Like it was the most amazing thing to me, right? Going through this journey, and he'll say, "That's my son." It used to move me every single time. As a result of taking my hand off my life. As a result of suiting up, showing up, and growing up. As a result of doing what y'all doing, right? As a result of getting my ass out the way. As a result of getting a power other than myself. And getting a power greater than myself. That relieves me of this alcoholism each and every day that I wake up. I don't do this stuff perfectly, y'all. I'm in my kids' life, and oh my God, my oldest daughter is amazing. I'm going. This is a result, right? Like my daughter, I take her out, and some young man, some young dude, some young whippersnapper. Yep, I'm gonna call it that. Young whippersnapper wanted to talk to my daughter, and he seen me walk up, and he's like, "That's your dad?" He was like, "Oh no." She was like, "No, my dad cool. I got a D1 dad." I didn't know what the hell that meant at the time, but I know it was a good thing for her to praise me like that. And I had to ask her, I got to show up, Dad. I got to not let me down, Dad. Right? These are things that I remember when I couldn't show up, and her mother used to call me and say, your daughter over here crying because you can't show up, but I got a D1 dad. As a result of taking my hands off my life. I was just hanging out, man. I wasn't even supposed to go to the crib last weekend, right? God see fit, right? Like I'm out here. I'm a truck driver. I stay sober for a living. I work this job to be responsible, reliable, and dependable. Right? My job ain't my end all be all. My job used to be my God. It ain't my God no more. Right? And my job had me go to Wisconsin, and I had an opportunity to hang out with my kids this weekend, y'all. It wasn't even my home time. I got to put in for home time. I got to wait for them. Yeah. And God made saw fit. Right. And when I ring the doorbell, that I'm talking about cheerleaders. I'm talking about they got everything, but daddy. I'm talking about it's a man. Hey, look, y'all. I'm talking daddy, Misha, daddy. This is an experience that you must not miss. And I'm not saying that everybody, you're going to get all the cards, you're going to get all the things, and you're going to get, I don't know what your journey is. Anybody, I don't know what your journey is, but you got to experience this thing for yourself. My experience is my experience, and it ain't the experience. Your experience, you got your own experience. You can't experience your experience until you experience your experience. That's how this thing works. I'm grateful for surrender. I'm grateful for honesty. I'm grateful for humility. And I'm not saying I'm humble. That's ego. But I'm grateful that God has given me a spirit of humility through the pain, through the drama, through all the things that I've been through. Like, because I'm no big deal, just a spoke in the wheel. In this wheel of her, in this wheel of Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm just one spoke, y'all, trying to keep this thing together. Right? I'm grateful for effective sponsorship. That I can call my sponsor up and I can drop something on him and he gonna give me his experience. I need that. My sponsor just celebrated 39 years. Look at God. Look at God. Look. I get to do stuff like that, right? And I get to celebrate him because if God did it for him, guess what, y'all? He'll do it for me. So I'm chasing his ass. I'm chasing that 39 years, y'all. One day at a time. I don't put too much on my plate, right? If I'm in drama, if I'm in chaos, right? I gotta ask myself, if it's on my plate, who put it there? Who put it there? Me. Who do I trust? Me. That's who. I ain't talking about Scarface. I'm talking about me. Right? When I'm in the way, when my hands is on my life, all I got to do is surrender all over again. This is a constant surrender. This is a constant, continuous process of uncovering, discovering, and discarding. This is a constant letting go. And I find that the more I let go, the more peace and the more serenity, the more understanding. I've been asking God for wisdom, right? And what what came over me the other day? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I could be around here double-minded, right? I could be around here thinking, fearing God and faith in God at the same time. Like, right? Where's my faith? Where's my walk? How am I living? I got to look at my attitudes and my actions and my behaviors and what's driving me to do the things that I do in order to recover. I got to constantly replace that magnifying glass with a mirror and look at Devaldis Abdul Garth. Damn, he said his whole name. We're an anonymous program. My guy Lavelle said, don't be so anonymous that Alcoholics Anonymous can't find you. If I go to the hospital, they say I'm looking for D. I'm looking for Devaldis. Who the hell is Devaldis? Like, and another reason I say my name. I used to not like my name. I used to hate my name. My brothers got normal names, right? They Xavier, Jamal, and Robert. And then there's Devaldis. I was the outsider, right? Like I was the not fitter inner, right? And then there's Devaldis Abdul Garth, right? And I did some work on that. I did some work behind that. I did a shame inventory. My name popped up, and someone said, look up your name. And I love saying this, and this some outside stuff, but it's part of me. It's part of me. I know I'm an alcoholic. I know that's my last name. I know that for sure. I'm an alcoholic. If I take one, it's over with. All bets are off. But I looked up my name. My first name means my first name, Devaldis, means God's gift or God's blessing. My middle name, Abdul, means trusted servant of the Most High. My last name, Garth, means keeper of this garden. Look, y'all, I'm a keeper of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I get to be a trusted servant of the Most High and give away God's gift, God's blessing that was been in me. It just had to be activated. Thank y'all for allowing me to share. Thank y'all for being here. I love each and every one of y'all. With that, I'm going to stick and stay.
Okay. So first question, we have Steve. Come on in, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for all that you do service for this meeting. It's the first time I've come to this meeting. And Devaldis, that was well worthy me being in this meeting for the very first time. I got so much from it. And the format of this meeting, they're saying is to ask a question. You took me to a place when you said something. We are all addicts and we all have relatable illnesses. This is what I get to very much understand. You said something about going into the petrol station and wanting to have a drink. Now, last week, Saturday, drink is not my thing. Crack cocaine is my thing. Last week, Saturday, I was doing some work. I did my step 4. I must say to you, I'm 58 years old, so my step 4 is pages and pages and pages and pages. So you talk about abuse, you talked about that sort of stuff. I can relate to that. The beatings, and if it was the broomstick, if it was the slipper, if it was the curtain rod, if it was the iron lead, I used to get that when I was younger, so I can relate to that. My question is, I went to a petrol station last Saturday to just go and buy some cheese and to buy some bread. And I walked past the alcohol. My dad was an alcoholic. Vodka was his thing. I wrote about that in my step 4. I despised him for that until I realized I've been around before. I've done this bloody thing before. You know, he had the illness like us all, so I forgive him. However, I saw vodka and I thought it'd be a good idea to buy a bottle of vodka to drown my sorrows on the piece of work I did last weekend. Because you mentioned about the gas station, I was at a Shell petrol station last weekend. How did that feel for you?
Devaldis, I call it fearful, scary. It brought me to a place of what am I not doing? What do I need to do? Because the big book say we recover from a hopeless state of mind and body, but it don't say it could recover from our ism. So I might think about a drink, as long as I don't act on it. The first thing my sponsor asked me is, "Are you loaded?" And I didn't get loaded. If I got loaded, y'all wouldn't. I got a couple of matter of fact, I got a couple of dollars to rub together. I wouldn't be your speaker. I wouldn't be carrying the message right here. So be grateful that you didn't take a drink. That had to come back over me. The gratitude had to come back over me. So I don't know what you felt, but what I felt was angst. A lot of at that time I was going through a lot of depression. I was going through, you know what I'm saying? So all these things, but I ain't called nobody, and I didn't reach out. And I don't suggest that to anybody new. If you feel it, I tell all my sponsees, if you feeling, call me. Not if you feel like taking a drink. If you feeling good, better, and different, call me. Because those are the things I drink about when I don't know what I'm feeling and when I'm experiencing something. So I don't suggest you don't call. Right? So I hope I asked you a question. I'm not a good question answerer. So if I don't know, if y'all ask me a question, I'm going to tell your ass, I don't know. With that, I stick and stay.
Thank you very much. Danny, you're up next.
Thanks, Tanya. Hi, guys. I'm Danny Monatic and Devaldis. Wow. Thanks so much, brother. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I've heard you before, and that was just, I heard you tonight. Thank you. My question for you, Devaldis, is you said in your share, when I become willing, the change has already taken place. And something in it, that I just kept that going around my mind and really resonated with that. I just wanted to share your experience of that. Thanks, mate.
Becoming willing. When I became willing. Oh yeah. So when it's not until two things that I need when I come up here: willingness and a well-whipped ass. That's my sponsor language, right? I call it the tenderization of the buttocks. I get tenderized long enough and hard enough for me to surrender, and I become willing. And when I become willing, because I'm unwilling to do what y'all doing, when I become willing, something activates in me. Desperation activates in me. And I'm willing to go to any length to do what y'all doing. I'm willing to go to any length to stay away from a drink or a drug. I'm willing. Something happens when I become willing. I'm hard-headed, stiff-necked. I don't get it the first time. I like that. When I become willing, that's the surrender for me. That's the surrender for me when I become willing. I'm grateful that I became willing in this process. So I just got nervous. My sponsor just raised his damn head. With that, I stick and stay.
Thank you very much. Dee, you're next, please.
Mr. Garth, my question for you is through sponsorship you talked about, but not just sponsorship. You talked about effective sponsorship. How did you find your sponsor?
So, God, through prayer, through seeking, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna tell you how I ran into my sponsor. I used to listen to him on YouTube. And I go to a conference and I get into it with my ex at the time and somebody say, go talk to Uncle Ralph. So I tell him that I got this anger and you know what I'm saying? He said, you ain't so, I said, damn, you Ralph White, you the dude I've been So it was through divine intervention. You know what I'm saying? But I was praying, but you know what I'm saying? I know I needed a sponsor at the time, right? But God set that thing up where I got so much pain and I became willing and he led me to my sponsor. And I'm so grateful for that night, you know what I'm saying? That night and that next day, because I don't know the growth that I've received and I ain't go with that. I stick and stay. That's how I found it.
That's lovely. Thank you. And Rachel, come on in, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm an addict. Wow, Devaldis, that share was absolutely amazing. It was just everything. It was honest, it was funny, and you shared such a powerful message. My question is to you. I'm always wanting to grow spiritually, and, I try as much as I can to listen to spiritual literature or read something, as well as doing everything that we do in the program, prayer and meditation, and helping others. I just wondered what it is that you have done alongside the program to help you grow and continue to grow spiritually. Thank you.
Outside issue, but I'm real big in religion. I'm real big in my religion. That's an outside issue, but I read a lot. I do a lot of with my church. So I'm not even gonna go further on that. Your experience with your spirituality gonna be your experience. Be where you at. You gonna get it when you get it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come how it comes for you. You know what I'm saying? My that's all I got. I'm gonna just leave it there.
Thank you for that. And Pierce, come on in, please.
Thanks, I'm glad you answered that last question there, pal. Where are you? I'm glad you answered that last question, and I like to look at someone when I'm speaking, I do, to be honest. The minutes going down. Well, as known as many of the first 100 went back to drink, not because the program didn't work, because the alcoholic drinks an effect, like Bill W. did, it's trauma, is what it was. And it's the program for living sober, it doesn't get sober. And I've met you before, and I've shared some meetings with you. I don't identify with your step two. And that's the reality. They don't identify with it. And then after hearing you talking about your kids, and you were saying you don't want to be like some people, I gossip, you know, that's me today, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not perfect. But my child wants the best person in me, you know. And your two little kids, and it's being around, I know your sponsor is a nice man, you know, and been around hundreds of years, and drinking is not part of the program. And if you're thinking of drinking, there's something very, very wrong with thinking. It's not a matter of if, when. So that counsellor you went to, that said it's celebration time, can you honestly tell me here now that you...
I didn't hear a question, but okay.
Aliyah, you're coming in next, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aliyah Maya. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much for your service. I love you, Dee. Love you, Devaldis. My question is, how do I know when I'm ready to make amends?
That's my little sis, y'all. That's little sis right there. I love you, Leah. That's why I got a sponsor. I mean, I become willing through this process. That for me, you know what I'm saying? Through the process, when I say that 7-step prayer and I say, God, give me strength as I go out from here, I'm ready. Right? I'm ready. I'm ready right there. God, I'm going with God. God going in front of me. Right? And God go right from that point, I'm willing. I'm walking hand in hand. I'm walking hand in hand. So from my 7-step, I was being prepared from all 1 through 7 to get to this place of 8 and 9. Right? But when I take that 7-step prayer, whew, I get that confidence that I've been missing. Right? To step out on faith and go to any length to keep this thing. So I hope I help.
Thank you for your question. Betsy, you're in next, please.
Hi, it's actually Sandra. I am a beautiful human with alcohol use disorder or alcoholic.
Friend in last.
And I'm Betsy's friend. She brought me today, and I just want to first say thank you, Devaldis, for your service. You had me laughing and crying and relating all the way through. And but I have a question is, one thing you mentioned is telling sponsees that, you know, if they even have that think to drink, that to call instead, to pick up the £1 million phone. And I was wondering if you might have any pointers on, I'm just over 4.5 years and I'm chasing after you and Ralph. Do you have any pointers on when you do get that phone call, how to, I mean, I know first thing is, God, please handle this. I know that's first, but any other thoughts on handling that phone call when someone is feeling the urge to drink and when you're answering that call?
So it's a case by case. It's a case by case. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. That's a wide question. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the person and it depends on what they're going through, and it's a lot of variations in that thing. But the first thing you said is, I invite God in. That's the first thing I do. Let's pray. And with all my sponsors, let's pray. Whether it's the serenity prayer, the 3rd-step prayer, you know what I'm saying? Like the 7-step prayer, whatever I invite God in. And from there, God, you know, something get activated when I invite God in, right? When I invite the power in, something activates in me. So, and God always, we've been trained for this, right? Like we've been trained to talk to people, right? To give us, I just give them my experience. That's all I got. My experience. I give them my experience. I'm not the type that. Let's go to the book. Look, let me tell you about when I did this, and let me tell you what happened. It didn't turn out well. I give them my experience. So the case by case, I give them each experience if I got the experience to go by. I hope I help. I pray that ain't hurt.
Thank you for that. And our last question of the evening is Ralph coming in.
Thank you. My name is Ralph Klein. I'm an alcoholic. Thank you, sir. I'm not going to spend time blowing you up because I got to get my question in, and it's a two-parter, but you lit me up today, sir. I got a two-part question, and one part, and I hope people understand the metaphor. If you had to look at yourself, you know I talk about don't grade your paper, but me and you talking. If you have to look at yourself, in your experience, number one, what is your kryptonite? What is it that I keep stumbling over or I have problems with or I bump into? And the second piece, what's my go-to? What's my superpower in recovery? Some people are sponsoring, some people sharing. What is it that no matter what, when I look back, this is what it is that has held me in good stead?
What I keep bumping into, a lot of fear. Caring about what people think about me, right? And selfishness and self-centeredness, right? And I'm glad you poured that into me yesterday, because right here, what I'm doing right now, this is my go-to. Y'all my go-to. Y'all my tribe, y'all my herd, this my jam, this my get down, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I'm talking about this way of life and this new way of life, I get, but I also got some other things that I do, Ralph. I call somebody, I call you. And I need to start making that one of my first prayer. That's my first go-to, right? But this right here, helping others, helping somebody, I'm out the damn way. My hands is off my life when I'm helping somebody, because I ain't wrapped up in me, and I ain't wrapped up in my fears and my plans and my problems and my idea. I ain't wrapped, because I'm giving away something freely that was given to me. Somebody said something, God loved me so much, he made me an alcoholic. I didn't understand it, because if I wasn't an alcoholic, I wouldn't have the solution to give back to y'all. I hope I answered the question. Thanks, Ralph. I love you.